This woman gave birth to a child while lying dead in her grave. Yes, it's hard to believe, but it's really possible. And this terrible story happened in 1819. The Petrov family, Fedor and Akulina, lived in the Moscow region and were ordinary peasants. Akulina was pregnant. And it's no secret that in those days women gave birth right in the field, and it wasn't a problem for them, and doctors didn't even help them. In short, there were no obstetricians or hospitals in those days. The women actually gave birth right in the field, then took the baby home and went back to the field to work. That's the story that happened to Akulina. It was harvest season, and the whole Petrov family went to work in the fields. This time, Akulina stayed at home because she was very ill due to pregnancy, and she would not have been of any use at work. In order not to leave his wife alone, the husband asked the girl to look after her. No sooner had everyone left the house that Akulina went into labor. The birth was so difficult that without outside help, this woman would not have been able to give birth to a child on her own. Akulina had terrible abdominal pains for 3 hours. She didn't know what to do, and the girl who was asked to babysit the woman was just confused and scared. And then Akulina jumped up from the bench, rushed into the yard, leaned on a pole and froze when her husband and other relatives came running from the field to Akulina. It was already too late, and all because the woman was dead. There wasn't much time to grieve because there was a harvest to be harvested, so the woman was put in a coffin. Well, according to custom, they left her in this coffin for 3 days. Well, 3 days later, Akulina was buried, and they were buried in the cemetery. Well, next to this cemetery there was a church where the priest and his family lived. And one day his children were playing in the cemetery and heard strange noises there, and these sounds came from Akulina's grave. The children told their father about it, and he came to the grave of this woman. He asked the local men to dig up the grave. They took out the coffin, opened the lid, and saw just a terrible picture. Akulina was lying in a completely different position from where she was kept. But the scariest thing was that there was a child lying next to her. The boy was alive and unharmed, and when he saw the light of God, he calmed down. The child was put in order but also given to a happy dad. It turned out that when Akulina was buried, she was in a kind of coma. And when labor began, she woke up. But as soon as she woke up, she was already in the coffin, and most likely she died already from severe childbirth. After that, Akulina was taken out and finally buried, but her child is alive and well and lives his happy life. If you need more similar stories, please like this video and subscribe to my channel.